What's up, guys? Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. I am currently on the test server. We're gonna have a look at the new champions that are being added for the Halloween. As you guys can probably notice, the Bastion right here is full of pumpkins and spooky things. Now, unfortunately, I am not able to do a showcase on the Fusion champion just yet. But we're gonna have our first look at the base stats and everything else related to the champion. It seems to be a bit bugged at the moment, so we're waiting for them to fix the test server so we can actually try Maria, Bloody Mary. So, we know that she's an attack, force affinity, legendary champion. Her base stats are actually pretty decent. We have over 1k defense, 15k HP, 1.5k attack, 99 speed, which is a bit on the low side. He does look really badass though. Like, I love the design. It seems like is Rotos's lover, right? Sippy might be jealous, but overall the design is really, really good on her. We already know the skill sets and all that stuff. Triple hitter with a very high chance to take an extra turn. It might be the highest chance in the entire game. With the second skill, will ignore 33% of the target's defense. Now, one thing that I've seen a lot of you guys put in the comments on the video when I talked about the fusion, I said one thing, the majority of you guys said a different thing. I said this is all related to her own turns. It does not matter how many turns the allies take and all that stuff, okay? Because it's not specified in here. It's not like Wukong's passive or different champions, okay? And this has been confirmed 100% by Plarium. Basically, on your third turn, you will ignore 99% of the target's defense, stone skin, and block damage. On her third turn. Not if you go with two champions moving in front of her and she takes the third turn. That doesn't work, okay? That's not the idea behind her kit. And it's the same with the buffs. The buffs on her. Doesn't matter how many other buffs the allies will have. Now, one thing that I've noticed, if you have 4 buffs, this will not give you an extra turn. If you have 3 buffs, you are going to gain the extra turn. If you have 6 or 9, you are going to gain the extra turn. This is actually pretty nice because I will spoil it a bit. From the little testing that I've done with her, she's actually doing pretty good damage, okay? I was really impressed with her damage. I'm looking forward to be able to do a proper guide showcase on her to show you guys what she can actually do. And I'm looking forward to put her in practice in PvP to see how easy it's going to be for us to basically make her work. The main thing is getting 3 buffs, using the second skill on the third turn. So you're going to open with this skill. You're going to move to the A1, pray to gain that extra turn, and then move on to the A2, which will be the third turn. You can play around with the Shuzan. If by any chance she's not gaining that extra turn from the A1, give her the instant turn, which should work as well. A very nice passive as well, which will basically deal more damage, and it will reset after the 99% damage bonus is applied. But it's basically each subsequent hit from this champion. I'm not sure if it's enough to just use the A1. If you're opening with the A3, you get 1 hit. Then you move on to the A2, you have 3 hits. That's 4 hits, which means that the third hit on the A1, actually 1, 2, 3. The second hit on the A1 will deal additional damage, and then it will reset on the next hit, right? And because of it, it's going to be pretty hard to push that additional damage onto the A2. But either way, hopefully we're going to be able to post videos either later today, either tomorrow. Let's talk about the other champions that are being added. Probably you've noticed this handsome Void Legendary, Gaspard, a defense-based champion. And it does look pretty cool. I like the design on him too. Good stats, almost 1.6k defense, 104 speed, good HP, good crit damage, which means that we're expecting him to do some smacking left and right. With A1, an AoE attack that has a chance to apply decrease attack and a weaken for 1 turn. Fully booked goes to 75%. With A2, an AoE attack that has a chance to provoke and will place an increased defense and a shield on all allies for 2 turns. Based on the skill description, he will attack first and put defense up after. I haven't tried him yet. Hopefully, the increased defense will be applied before the attack. I'm not 100% sure. It's not really specified in here as they would normally do. If the increased defense comes only after the damage, it's a bit... Why not put it before so he can boost his own damage, right? But hopefully, it will get applied before. And a shield, which is nice. Can be used in Hydra, can be used in Karsiri, in Faction Wars, etc. Then, we do have You Stand Accused, which is on a 3-turn cooldown fully booked, which will attack one enemy that, and he will ignore Life Barrier, Poison Cloud, and Shield, and block damage buffs, as well as 25% of the target's defense. Now, this doesn't only sound good for Hydra, sounds interesting for PvP as well because of the block damage and shield. If the target was killed by the skill, revives a random dead ally with 50% HP and turn meter, and this revive will ignore block revive debuffs. I think this is the first champion in the game that can actually resurrect even though your champions might be under block revive. Really, really strong. And he will place a block revive on a target killed by this skill. We have 2 passives. The first one, whenever this champion kills an enemy or decapitates a Hydra head, fills the turn meter of all allies by 25% and heals them by 25% of their max HP. That is a lot of turn meter and healing from this passive. No cooldown. Then you have the next passive. Whenever an enemy is revived, instantly activates the You Stand Accused skill against the enemy, which is the A3, which can block revive on them. So that's very, very powerful. If multiple enemies are revived, the initial target of the revive will be targeted by the You Stand Accused skill and will not put the skill on cooldown. We'll have a 50% chance of activating the skill on an enemy whenever an ally is killed. Really nasty as well. So if they kill one of your champions, he will have a 50% chance to smack them with the A3. Instantly activates the You Stand Accused skill against the Hydra head whenever an ally is consumed by that head, and will not put the skill on cooldown. Overall, sounds like a really, really solid champion. I'm just curious to see the multipliers, if he can actually bring damage. For whoever might say he's not a damage dealer, yes, he is a damage dealer. And if he doesn't have good multipliers, it might not be that great. But overall, he seems really, really good. Then, we do have a couple of different champions as well. If I remember it correctly, one is a Knight Revenant, and that is Venalicia Thrall Mother. A support champion. I'm not a big fan of the design. She seems kind of like a Sinesha Skullcrown type of copy posture anyway. Good stats though. With A1, a triple hitter and has a chance to land a weaken. With A2, an AoE attack. Before attacking, removes all buffs from all enemies. And has a chance to put block buffs and defense down on all enemies. They've made a lot of champions recently that put block buffs and defense down. Now, she strips the buffs from the enemies, which is actually really, really, really good. Not only for Hydra, but for a lot of other content too. And with A3, revives all dead allies with 50% HP and turn meter. If all other allies are dead, revives them with 75% HP and turn meter, and decreases the cooldown of all revived ally skills by 1 turn, and increases the cooldown of all enemy skills by 2 turns. Really, really nice on a 4-turn cooldown. So that is a very good revive. With a passive, fills this champion's turn meter by 20 whenever an ally dies, heals this champion by 20% of their max HP whenever they are attacked by an enemy under a Pain Link debuff, occurs once per turn, and will place a Pain Link debuff for 2 turns on enemies who deal damage equal to 25% or more of an ally's max HP with a single skill. Sounds like a solid support champion. I would love to use her in one of my Hydra teams as a block buffs, defense down champion, because she brings that revive. which means super auto friendly. You don't have to worry about reflect damage or anything of that nature, right? So I think she's a very nice champion as well. I would love to get her personally. And we have one more champion, which is nothing too funky. It's just an epic champion, which most likely is going to be used for the fusion. And that is Porn, a new Sylvan Watcher, defense-based champion. Design-wise, it looks okayish, nothing too spectacular. I do love the red around his body, though. Good stats, defense-based, as I was saying. Attacks an enemy twice, has a chance to land a leech. Attacks all enemies twice. The first hit has a chance to place through fear. The second, decrease accuracy. Now, this can actually be interesting for PvE content, waves, faction wars. The fear, you can't really count on it as much, but hey. And then you have an increased defense on all allies, a counter attack, and an increased resistance on this champion. And he, whatever, has a passive. Before this champion uses a skill to deal damage, heals this champion, and the value of the heal is proportional to this champion's defense. And we have a resistance aura for all battles. These are the 4 champions being added for Halloween in Raid Shadow Legends, guys. The update most likely is going to be either Wednesday, either Thursday morning. That's when the fusion will actually start. I do like the design on the Bastion. We have Jack right there. We have Madame Series at the market, just cooking something. And I think it's a bit different from what we had last year, if I'm not mistaken. I do love when they're changing this, though. It just feels a bit fresh, right? But I'm looking forward to showcase the fusion. Stay tuned for it. As usual, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.